Hi, I'm Leeza. I'm an international transformation specialist. What that means is I help people break free from their limiting beliefs and step into their full potential, whatever it is. And today I want to share with you one of the most powerful tools for that kind of transformation. It's your perspective. When you shift the way you see the world, everything changes. So imagine two people stuck in traffic. One person is fuming, honking, frustrated, impatient, and the other person's relaxed, listening to music, learning something from a podcast, just enjoying maybe an audiobook, right? Using the time to reflect. You have the same situation and completely different experiences. What's the difference? Their perspective. What if I told you that by shifting your perspective, you could instantly change your emotions, your relationships, and even the opportunities that come into your life? Sounds impossible. I'm telling you, it's proven. I've experienced it myself. It's possible. Let's dive into how this works and how you can start shifting your lens. Many people believe that their circumstances determine their happiness, that whatever happens to them is what creates their emotional experience. In reality, it's not what happens to them, it's how they're interpreting those experiences, what lens they're looking at those circumstances through. So I'm sure you've had experiences where something seemingly drastic has happened either to yourself and others, and you float through it, or other people seem nonplussed. Everything is fine. And then there are other people under the same circumstances, and they're struggling, and they can't get out from underneath. And it's not the people themselves that's the difference. And the circumstances can be exactly the same. It's how someone is interpreting what that means, the beliefs that they're holding about those circumstances. Is it bad for me? Or is it good for me? Is this going to harm me? Or is there some benefit in this that I maybe can't even see right now, but I'm trusting that it's there somewhere? So that interpretation, how we're looking at things, that's literally what creates our experience of the situation. Have you ever noticed how two people can go through the exact same challenge, yet one person crumbles and struggles while the other one grows through it? I've seen this again with so many of my own clients. Some people will get so upset and fearful, and understandably so, right? But then there are other people in the exact same circumstances, and they find faith and trust, and they walk through it with less angst. What's the difference? It's how they're looking at it. It's not the circumstances. And we often think that we have no choice, right? Things come at us. We don't choose what life gives us. That's not what the choice is about. Most of the time, we have choices in how we respond, how we view it, and how we choose to react to something that's coming into our lives. And recognizing that we have that choice is halfway there. Because when we think that we have no choice and we have to simply react to whatever comes at us without taking the time to consider what we want, how we want to respond, what would be useful to us, it's just haphazard. But when we take that time, when we know we have a choice about how we can respond, everything is different. You may know this. Our minds love patterns, right? We look for them. We look for habits. We look for how things fit together. It's how we navigate the world. So if we've gotten used to a particular pattern, if we're used to seeing struggle or things that are never working for ourselves, that's what you'll continue to look for. That's what you'll continue to see. And then the world will appear that way to you, right? So we can change those patterns when we become intentional about them, when we are aware that we have the patterns, and when they arise, can make an intention that we're going to shift them. The way that you see yourself and the way that you see others and the way you see the world affects everything. It's imagine you have a pair of eyeglasses on, and if you wear them, that they're perfect for your prescription. Or let's say you have eyeglasses on and you don't need eyeglasses, or they're not your prescription. Whatever lens you have on is going to totally change what you're seeing in the world. What's out there doesn't change. But what you're looking at, what you're looking through, that impacts what you're actually seeing. And your confidence and your ability to respond to things depends on how you're looking at things, how you're seeing the things that are in front of you. So, one of the things that you can do in order to shift your mindset, shift how you're looking at things, is what we call reframing. So, all that means is that when something happens, maybe it's something that happens all the time. you're always stuck in traffic, or the project is always turned in late, or your child's always complaining about a particular thing, something that's repetitive and it's frustrating to you. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? And maybe you didn't even say it out loud. Maybe it's just kind of internal, oh, there it is again. It's happening again, right? You can reframe and ask the question, what's a lesson in this for me? What can I learn from this situation, right? Or sometimes I even ask myself, what's the gift in this for me? So when you take that situation, you don't even have to alter how you deal with it, but change the question and how you're looking at it. Instead of, why is this happening to me? What can I learn from this? What's the gift in it for me? Now, you may not be able to control what happens to you, right? None of us can, and the people that who try, we call them control freaks, right? They're always constantly trying to control the circumstances and don't do this and don't go there and make sure it's that way. And it's very exhausting and it's difficult to be with those folks. It's difficult to be with ourselves if we're doing that. So you can't control what happens around you or to you, but you have 100% command over how you respond. You know, Viktor Frankl, who was an amazing therapist, Austrian therapist, who actually lived through a concentration camp in Nazi Germany, and his wife died in the concentration camp. And he wrote a wonderful book called Man's Quest for Meaning. And one of his most amazing quotes in there, it was a wonderful lesson. He said, "You have one ultimate freedom that nobody can ever take away from you, and that is your choice in how you respond." There's something that we call a perspective filter, right? Your past experiences, your history, your culture, your memories, all the things that you've been through, they create a backdrop, like a movie in the back of your mind that's always running. And it shapes then how we see new situations. We're looking for resonance or something similar, something contrasting. To recognize that you have these filters in place is the first step. And then to realize you have a choice that you can actually change them, that's the most powerful step. So expanding your awareness is an incredible tool. When something feels impossible or you feel like you're so challenged you don't know what to do, you can ask yourself a simple question. If I looked at this from a different angle, what would I see? That's all. You don't even have to look at it from a different angle. But posing the question loosens the gridlock. What if I looked at this from a different angle? There's a story that you tell yourself, right? Your thoughts, your memories, your experiences, they create a story and you have a narrative. You talk about it and this is what happened to me and then that happened and this is how I felt and this is who came and this is who left and all, right? We have our stories. It's actually possible to rewrite that narrative. There's an amazing book called Bright Air, Brilliant Fire. I think the author is Edelman, and he was a Nobel laureate. He writes in there that actually they proved that when you change your memories, when you change how you think about things, that how that memory is lodged in your brain actually shifts. That means when we change how we perceive our lives, when we change our narrative, we literally can change how we're remembering it and experiencing it retroactively. It's pretty amazing. So here's something you can do, something very simple but powerful. It's called a 24-hour perspective shift. So try this on for one full day. Anytime you're facing frustration during that 24 hours, stop and ask yourself, how else can I see this? And then write down 3 different ways to view that exact situation. Like put yourself in different people's shoes or look at it from different maybe time frame or from a different person's perspective. So 3 different ways that you could view that exact same situation. And you don't even have to take any of them on. Just recognizing there are different ways of looking at it. You'll be amazed at how much control you actually have over your experience of that situation. If you found this useful, please go ahead and hit the like button or subscribe for more insights and check the links here in the description for some more guidance. And remember, your world changes the moment you decide to see it differently.